nice to meet you. Hi.
Hi,
Morning.
nice to meet you. Hi.
Non riesco a fermarmi.
Jake, you have got a beautiful voice. We heard you sing on Broadway. You've got so beautiful and expressive eyes, but you really love physical transformation. Why do you love so much to change your body and work on it for a movie?
I mean, I always love to. First of all, thanks. That's very nice. Thank you. But I think that I always stay in physical shape. You know, it's important to me. You know, I think that as actors, you know, performers, you'd say, you know, it's good for to take care of, as they would say, your instrument. You know, it's like this is what we use for our work, and as you get older, it's really important to make sure that you stay in that. It always makes me feel good, you know, physical, for mental health, all of those things. And so I always stay in good shape. I love to do that. I'm very active. In order for roles, it's just it's fun, you know. I mean, I find that fun too. I know some people might think that that's odd, but I don't. I love really like digging in and getting in and working hard, as well as digging into the words and digging into the ideas of the story. It's the same thing in the physical. I love that too, and I almost need it. So to have a role that combines both for me is ideal.
And Daniela, you in the middle of all that testosterone, your Ellie has got such an attitude. And do you believe that the thumb is stronger than the fist?
Especially as a Portuguese girl, I think so, because yeah, at least my experience. I'm not saying bad things about Portuguese men or men in general, but with a Portuguese girl, we're used to be the ones. At least in Portuguese, we say that we put the pants on in every house, you know. Yeah, and I try to take a little bit of that for my character, of course. Not as hot blood as the Latinas, you know. It's a different kind of fierce, but I brought that Portuguese side.
I can relate because in Italy we have the same saying. Ci mettiamo i pantaloni.
Ah, really? Nice. Yeah.
And Jake, your character says that he's not the hero, but another character says to him that is neither the villain. Do you believe that we need more complexity in movies? How much do we need critical thinking in stories?
I think it's essential. That's actually one of the lines I loved. There are a few lines in the movie that made me want to do that film, and that was one of them. I think, yeah, the complexity of a character and the human experience and who we are is not binary. And I really think it's important to, even in a big movie like this, even in the sort of sense of humor in it and the fun and the joy and the playfulness of it, to be able to communicate the complexity of a person, you know. That's what I loved about Dalton. You know, he had this experience as you enter the movie of like regret and all the things history that he carried with him, but he uses it in a way, I think, to move through it. And he's a very complex person. Their relationship I love because of that as well, you know. I don't want to give too much away, but I love that it doesn't follow the same trajectory that we're used to. So there are things in it, and that's what makes a Doug Liman movie so original. Is that you always know you're going to get something fun to watch, but you know you're always going to get a complex character. And for me, it's always important, even in a big fun movie.
And to you both, you have a Titanic style scene in this movie. How was it? Did you call yourself Jack and Rose during that scene?
Remember the end with the kissing scene?
Yes.
But do you remember at the end of that scene we were supposed to fall into the water? Remember we were supposed they cut that out. Yeah, we fell into the water.
But then we didn't. But I remember that on the last take I ended up falling. Remember on the water.
There was a time where we'll just try the fall. You were sort of trying to pull me down with your that's what
My God, yeah. But we didn't call each other.
Yeah. No, we had a good time. That was really fun. And by the way, an incredible location. That location.
Yeah, that was so
like
beautiful.
a sandbar in the middle of the ocean. So cool.
In this movie, the characters say that family runs deep, and Jake, you are an uncle, and I'm an auntie too. I have two nephews, two twins. They are almost two. So I want to ask you. So we are all in the secret society of aunts and uncles. We are members, and I want to know: would you watch this movie with your nephews, and what do you think they will say about you in this movie?
The thing about my nieces is that first of all, they're such brilliant people, and have such big hearts, and they're so encouraging. It's one of the things that I love about them so much. My sister and brother-in-law have raised such wise, thoughtful individuals. And so they see me probably better than I see myself. And they support me no matter what. Don't get me emotional about it, because I feel like I am when I talk about them, but they make me so proud, and I know that they would encourage me no matter what, and I will be there for the rest of their lives doing the same thing.
I can totally relate. They are amazing nephews and and nieces. And your character says, "I'm afraid more than you can even understand." To you both, do you believe that being afraid, fear, sometimes is a good emotion, sometimes can be an asset or not?
I think taking risk in one's life and one's work always requires a bit of that. And I think that courage is such an important part in stepping into all those spaces. I don't know how...
I feel that most of my fear comes from the feeling of responsibility. So that's nice to have that awareness. But as long as we don't let the fear to take over our lives and to be the biggest feeling that we feel the most on everything, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.